Distraction is a thief that robs us in broad daylight. Three of the most important resources we have are time, energy, and attention. Distractions rob us of attention and in the process affect our time management and energy levels as well. In fact, context switching is mentally fatiguing and lowers our cognitive abilities. It's one of the biggest enemies of productivity in the 21st century. Distractions are all around us, easily available at the distance of a click or a tap. Even when we're not actively seeking them, notifications from our smartphones and computers quickly remind us of the fun distractions available, instead of making progress on the tasks that we are supposed to work on. I genuinely believe that treating our attention as a precious resource that we must safeguard has the potential to change our lives. It won't just make us more productive and efficient, it will also give us the ability to focus on what really matters to us, getting us closer to our goals. There is a certain mental clarity that comes when we're not distracted and pulled in a million directions. When we switch from a reactive mode to being mindful of how our attention is invested. We can be proactive instead. Life becomes simpler, narrower, but also deeper and more meaningful. We are what we focus on. In this video, I will share with you 7 tips to become more productive by managing distractions and reclaiming your attention. My first tip is to install a software blocker on your computer. The average worker will get distracted every 40 seconds when sitting at their computer. Some distractions are inevitable, but others can be tamed by using software that blocks them. I'm partial to Cold Turkey Blocker, an app available for Mac and Windows. There is a free version, but it's worth paying for the premium version. You can customize the list of sites you find distracting from a sensible default list. You can schedule when blocking should be enforced, and you can set it to allow for a degree of distraction. For example, you could allow up to 30 minutes of Facebook time per day. As you use the program, you will quickly find out which distracting sites you forgot to add to the list, because they are the ones you reach for while Cold Turkey is blocking the rest. Be ruthless and add these sites too to the list. Heck, if you find yourself checking your email too often, set limits on your email checking as well. I like to open my personal email twice a day. My second tip is to disable notifications for most apps on your phone. Apps on our smartphones are constantly pinging us. If you're bold, you could put your phone in airplane mode altogether. But a less drastic measure is to go through the list of notifications in your settings and disable them for all but the most essential apps. For example, I don't disable notifications for phone calls. By the way, you can also disable desktop notifications on both Windows and Mac if you truly want to achieve deep focus. It's a good idea to do so during periods of scheduled productivity. Tip number 3. Write down your top goals for the day. Perhaps you have a to-do list with 20 tasks to accomplish today. But which ones are truly important and must be done to call it a successful day? Write down your top priorities for the day and stick them somewhere visible. This way, throughout the day, you'll have a reminder of what you need to pay attention to and focus on. Tip number 4. Limit unnecessary human interactions while you're focusing. This tip might be controversial because you'll need to strike a balance between solo productivity and collaboration in the workplace. And the balance between the two will vary depending on your job. In many cases, productivity requires interacting with other humans. However, it's also true that a lot of distractions arise from unnecessary conversations with colleagues or friends, depending on your environment. Don't volunteer to join meetings you're not required to participate in. Wear headphones to indicate that you're focusing. Don't be antisocial, of course, and respect the etiquette of your workplace. But be mindful of the risk of excess social interactions when trying to stay focused. Tip number 5 is to keep your mobile phone away from you when possible. Keep it out of sight, ideally in a different room altogether. In fact, I even keep it in a different room when I go to sleep. Doing so has massively improved my sleep. My brain no longer wonders if a notification will come through in the middle of the night. It can simply relax and recharge while my phone does the same in the living room. If you're having dinner with someone, don't place your phone down on the table. Keep it in your pocket, bag, or briefcase instead. I often see this type of behavior in restaurants. People will place their phones face down on the table as if that's enough to fully concentrate on the person they're talking to. More often than not, they'll pick their phone up again shortly after. And even if they don't, part of their mind will be distracted, anticipating possibly incoming notifications such as text messages. Be present in the moment. Give your attention to the person you're with. The quality of your relationships will grow exponentially. Tip number 6 is to adopt the Pomodoro Technique. If you're not familiar with the technique, do a Google search and look it up for details. But the gist of it is that you'll set a digital or physical timer and only work for 25 minutes. Most of us can focus deeply for such a short amount of time, especially if we already reduced other environmental distractions. Once the timer goes off, you'll take a 5-minute break to reward yourself for completing 1 Pomodoro. Every 4 Pomodori, you'll take a longer break. Try it and you'll be amazed by how productive you can be when you're focused on the task at hand for blocks of 25 minutes. Even if you don't adopt the Pomodoro Technique for all of your work, it's a great way to get out of procrastination mode. Start with 1 Pomodoro, and once the inertia of starting is gone, you're likely to keep going. Tip number 7. Take distraction-filled breaks so that you don't feel deprived of the distractions you seek. You're not trying to be a monk who is in deep focus all day long. Instead, work hard during the scheduled time, but feel free to partake in all the distractions you enjoy during planned breaks. You won't feel as guilty if you game for an hour at the end of a long, productive day. If your distractions are mostly digital in nature, you might even consider dedicating a tablet or cheap laptop to the task. That way, when you're using it, you're in play mode. When you're not, it's all business. I hope you found this collection of tips useful. They really helped me achieve a greater level of productivity. If you enjoyed them, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified on new self-improvement videos each week.